Chapter 16. You, me, Yule Ball, yes? I barely remembered walking back to the common room. Ominous had been silent, his usual fluid movements just a fraction less sure than usual. His stride was quicker, yet there was a quiet steadiness to him, as though some invisible load had been lifted. I felt it too. I was floating. Face flushed, skin tingling with the memory of his fingers against my cheek. My lips curved slightly at the thought, nose prickling as I inhaled his proximity again and again. Anything to occupy the charged space between us. We crossed halls, turned corners, moved along the corridors, too close, too aware of each other. No one passed us. The quiet engulfed me, cool and secure, settling something deep inside me. A foreign sensation, yet familiar, the way only a child can feel safe. He likes me back. My knees wobbled as I stepped onto the staircase, the roar of the waterfall beside us drowning out my thoughts. Ominous's arm brushed against my shoulder, a light, guiding touch, to steer me away from the vases at the base of the steps. How often had I watched Sebastian knock them over, too lost in his own chatter to notice? I smiled. The common room was dimly lit, the green glow of the black lake casting rippling shadows across the stone walls. Only when I noticed the lack of chatter near the seating area did I realize it was dinner time. The space was empty. Almost.
Well.
Sebastian hummed, sprawled lazily in an armchair by the fireplace.
Look who's back.
Anne scoffed beside him.
Sebastian, don't be insufferable,
she said, elbowing him, though her grin mirrored his. I could sense her restraint, how it was itching her to ask, her eyes searching as though the past hours were written across my face. Sebastian's gaze was locked on me as well. I cringed. Sebastian, of course, noticed, his smile stretching impossibly wide.
Surely you must be an expert at potion brewing now,
he drawled mercilessly.
She did well.
Ominous countered swiftly, too swiftly, then more deliberately.
Are we going to dinner, or would you rather continue embarrassing yourself here?
Anne shot up from the couch, as if the words were meant for her, glancing sternly at her brother. Sebastian chuckled.
Oh, I can do both.
Dinner was a welcome distraction, proof that things were still normal, apart from the constant flutter in my stomach. The great hall buzzed with its usual evening energy, purple clouds swirling above the Slytherin table as the enchanted ceiling settled into dusk. I chewed absently, gaze fixed on the single beauty mark on Ominous's right hand as it lingered next to mine, fingers halfway curled around his fork as though undecided about using it. My hand moved, his pinky twitched. Across from us, Sebastian watched like a Kneasel about to pounce.
So,
he began, voice dripping with false indifference as he stabbed at a roasted potato without looking.
How was tutoring?
Sebastian,
Anne hissed.
Productive.
Ominous answered coolly, a slow, confident smirk spreading.
You're unusually invested in our study habits, Sebastian.
Sebastian hesitated, gears grinding behind his eyes, preparing his next offense. Instead, his face shifted.
Fine then, don't tell me,
he muttered, proceeding with the rampage on his plate. I nearly choked at the dramatic pout on his lips, casting a quick look at Anne. She returned it, eyes glinting with anticipation. I tipped my head at Ominous, slowly, cautiously, praying that he wouldn't detect the subtle movement beside him. My gaze flickered back to Anne and then I nodded. A small, simple nod, imperceptible to anyone except the one staring at me. A nod holding the meaning of 1,000 words. Heat rose to my cheeks, my lips pressing together as I watched Anne's face unravel. She clapped her hands over her mouth just in time to muffle the delighted shriek threatening to carry across the entire table. Ominous straightened abruptly, beating Sebastian by a second.
What?
Sebastian snapped irritably. His eyes darted back and forth across the table, brows knitting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I left my female intuition in the common room.
Anne hid a chuckle behind her hand. I bit my lip. He deserved to know. Still, I said nothing.
You know,
Ominous said to Sebastian, chin propped on his hand.
maybe if you asked the right questions, you'd get proper answers.
Silence followed, the constant clatter around us ringing in my ears. He let the words settle for a few seconds before casually scooping up his fork. A flicker of amusement flashed across his face as he feigned interest in his food. I gaped at him. So did Sebastian, though defiance seemed to bubble up inside him. He leaned forward, posture screaming, "Challenge accepted." He grinned, voice dipping mischievously.
Have you told Nina about your feelings for her?
My head sank into my shoulders. Ominous didn't flinch.
I'm fairly certain that I've made my intentions clear. Yes.
He replied, unfazed, cocking his head as though sidestepping a spell. Anne caught my look and opened her mouth in a silent scream. I snorted. Sebastian's expression was unreadable, caught between shock and something oddly resolute, like pride.
Oh, this is so exciting. I can't wait for the ball.
Anne burst out, restraint crumbling.
This will be the start of a new era.
Wait! My stomach plummeted. We hadn't even talked about the ball. Anne, however, clapped her hands like all the stars had finally aligned.
All right, you, me, Saturday, dress shopping.
She said, shoving the silver platter of roasted potatoes aside like it was a chessboard.
Any ideas what you're going to wear?
I blinked, caught off guard. I tried to look away, but Anne's gaze pinned me in place. Oh, I haven't really thought about it yet, I muttered, dragging out the words, hoping Anne would catch the hidden message. He doesn't know. She didn't.
Well, you'd better start.
She quipped, gesturing to Ominous.
You're going with a fashionista, so you better look presentable.
The embarrassment rose hot to my cheeks. My body tensed, caught in the uncertainty of it all. The images rushed in, Ominous and me at the ball, dressed up together. But he hadn't asked, and neither had I. To my surprise, it was Sebastian who picked up on my unease, subtle as a storm.
You are going together, aren't you?
He asked, half chewing, eyes narrowing. Ominous shifted slightly in his seat, calm as ever.
Of course we are.
My head snapped toward him, heart thudding. His features were steady, purposeful, every line of his expression drawn with intent. Then, after the briefest pause, he tilted his head toward me, voice softening.
I mean, if you'd like.
If I'd like? I swallowed, the answer small but certain as I breathed it out. I'd love to. Anne sighed dramatically, clasping her face like she was witnessing the final scene of her favourite romance novel.
Honestly, I feel like I've been holding my breath since September.
Sebastian huffed.
All right, don't make it weird.
He mumbled between bites.
Some of us are still digesting.
I watched him. How, after a few seconds, his expression settled into a contented grin. Then, it struck me. Wait, who are you going with? I asked, too loud, too suddenly. Sebastian stared at me, a disbelieving frown appearing as if I'd asked what year it was.
I'm going with Poppy.
He announced casually, reaching for his goblet. I gaped at him. Of course. My face lit up. You are? He shrugged with practiced nonchalance.
Yeah, asked her yesterday after Care of Magical Creatures. We've been working together for a while. It just felt easy. She said yes.
He looked away as he drank, avoiding my gaze. But when he set the goblet down, his eyes flicked back to mine, a gentle smile forming just for me. He'd be just fine. Beside him, Anne chuckled.
Of course she said yes. She obviously likes you.
I turned to her, lips parting, ready to confirm. But I stopped myself. Not my secret to tell. Sebastian blinked, visibly thrown, just enough for it to be endearing.
She does?
Anne rolled her eyes.
Merlin, boys are slow. Why else would she laugh at your jokes?
Satisfied, she picked up her fork again like her work here was done. Sebastian let out a laugh, real and just a little too high.
Huh, I guess she's nice.
Short, sweet, and brunette.
Anne added between chews, flashing me a knowing glance, just long enough for the unspoken to be heard. My heart gave a faint twist, but it was gone in a breath. Relief bloomed in its place. He deserved this. I think it's perfect, I said, smiling at him with sincerity. Then lower, with a nudge of mockery. She balances you out. He scoffed, but the blush rising to his cheeks betrayed him. My gaze drifted across the sea of students to the table draped in yellow. I didn't see her, but I didn't need to. I knew where I'd find her. Poppy and I had a lot to catch up on,